What's up, guys? So we just had a big pre-Quince box tournament and made it to top cut. Got dropped out pretty early on, but it was a really fun event. So the deck I was piloting was Wind Choice Konosuba. Started off, we run 4 Swimsuit Darkness, just vanilla 4K. Konosuba lacks a lot of quality when it comes to its zero lineup, but just vanilla 4Ks are pretty nice to have whenever you don't have much anything else to play. Next card, generic drop searcher, searches for any trait in the deck, just get a card I need whenever I need it. Average reason anyone would use a drop searcher. Next card, one of my personal favorite cards in this deck, and one of the main reasons it can be as consistent as it can be. It is a double drop searcher that searches for Worries or Robbers. Worries being Darkness's primary unique trait. Really good card, really good hand filter, especially early on, because I want my 3s inside of my grave so I can early play them whenever I get the 2. We'll cover that in a little while, but yeah, another effect on attack, mill 2. If you hit a climax plus your soul, even if you don't hit the extra soul, I mean, mill 2 is just good really early on, thin your deck out. The next card I play is this Darkness level 0. Backup, essentially acts as a permanent Ricky. You lay it on the back row. It's a pay 1, tap itself, clock, search your deck for an adventure character, and then on climax placement, give something plus 1K. Solid card. You get a lot of mileage out of it, especially when you have a lack of any zeros that really do something for you. Next card, Chris Brainstormer. She is not used that often, but when she does come in handy, it is very, very clutch. I've had her win me games before just because I was able to hit something off her. She's a pay 1, tap 2, look at top 4, search for a yellow or adventure character, and gives plus 15 in middle row. Pretty solid. Next card's one of the best ones in the deck. It's a climax swapper, but it also has the effect on placement, mill 3. Solid. I mean, just extra mill when you can get it is really nice. You just constantly want to use it. You want to play it down, mill 3, maybe even hit your climax if you're just trying to dig for it before you can change it out, but either way, still really solid. The next one, originally I spec'd this in to play against Hololive when this was mainly just a waifu deck, but I started getting so much mileage out of this and realizing that I don't need that much blue to take advantage of all the good Konosuba blue cards. It's just a generic bottom deck bomb, but it has the alarm trigger, which when this is at the top of my climax, I can give something at the beginning of my climax phase on the bottom deck. Yeah, top of clock.
You said top of climax, but yeah. Same difference.
Same difference. And then the next one is the beginning of my merge pieces. It's just a generic 0 plus 500 assist to what's in front of it. I have a second effect where I could tap this, I could pitch a copy of itself and salvage an adventure character, which is essentially every character in the deck except for the 2-1 Veneer I play, but he is searched off of a level 1 combo. Okay, moving to level 1. I play one of this free 2K backup. Just nice to have, doesn't come in handy that often. I've toyed around with getting rid of this, but I've used it enough to set up a target to get a little bit bigger, enough to where I want to keep it as an option. Next card. One of the dumbest cards, I'm shocked they printed it. It is a on-death Kome for Darkness specifically. When it's sent to graveyard, look at top 4, if there's a climax, add it to hand, pitch a card. That stupid effect, stupid consistency when it comes to maintaining, doing combos every turn, which is what this deck wants to do. And it can also be served as a decent level 1 attacker. It gets 5K on your turn, 6K on climax. You can get it up a little bit higher, but still just pretty decent. Next card, one of my favorites, is the level 1 Darkness. On attack, I can either search my waiting room or my deck for a Breaking the Force Darkness or a Veneer. Stupid combo. Goblin Slayer has a similar one for torches, but it's it sets you up so well and clears out your deck and lets you know everything you have in there. It just has such good reach for this deck in particular that if it wasn't for this combo, I do not think this deck would be as remotely playable as it is. Now on to level 2. I play 1 memory trigger. I was thinking about running another one of these to have the free 2K backup, only because I can maintain pretty solid 13K plus boards, and this just is so nice to have, just to deal with any threats that come up. Like, oh, okay, you're swinging over by barely anything, let me just remove that. But, I mean, 1 of is still really fine. Next one, 2/1 Menacing Pose Aqua. A generic, if you're level 3, gets plus 2K, but has an effect. You tap it, give a character on reverse bottom deck. It's really good for just dealing with decks that want to maintain their board, such as Standby, where they want to constantly just encore their stuff back out. Helps get rid of it. Bottom deck, decompress them a tiny bit, but not too much. Next one is the Fierce Battle Veneer. This is the other merge piece. On placement, you may shuffle back 2 of the level 3s and then put them on bottom of your deck. Its other effect is you put this card in the 0, you put the 0 under it, and then you search your deck for the level 3, play it over, and you get a top check 3 off of the level 3. Really stupid. This deck is very stock efficient. It does not. You could do a lot with very little. It is very hand intensive though, so you run out of hand very, very fast. Now on to level 3, the final. I play 1 of the base set Darkness. I used to run 2 when it was just strictly waifu, just because it was a level 3, but this one actually has really good defensive utility, because if this is in the back row or in your front, at your opponent's draw phase, with the prevalence of MTI and Quints, you can just give one of your characters plus 4K, and they have a very hard time reaching it without being able to, you counter now, because when they attack, you're not allowed to counter. You can maintain board a little bit better with this. Also, it being hexproof, also it being a counter burn. If you attack this, I don't cancel damage. I can pay 2, pitch 1, deal it back to you. Really solid. Next one, it's the usual suspect in any Konosuba list. Mesmerizing Water Goddess Aqua. Early play healer for full board. Gets plus 2K on your turn. It's dumb. You play it. You enjoy it. There's no reason not to. If you play blue, you play it. Or if you don't play blue, you spec into it just to play this. It's the best healer in Konosuba. And finally, the reason I love this deck, the dumbest combo ever, the level 3 Darkness. On client placement, if I have full board, I get this effect till the end of turn. When I cancel damage, or you cancel damage, burn 1. Doesn't sound like a lot, but this deck's tendency to either get lucky or just be able to compress itself so well that I constantly cancel with it and get ping burn 1s. I've won several games from 3-6, just getting a clutch ping burn 1 at the end per game. 11K with full board statically. With the 2/1 backups, 13K. With the memory counter, it can round about 16, and that pretty much deals with most threats running around. It's very hard, especially at 2, to get to 16, or even close to it. But she's just super solid. Very, very cost efficient. Top check 3, grab a card. Very, very good for a deck that is this hand intensive, because you're constantly running out. You will be empty very, very fast if you don't play your hands right. Alright, that'll be it for those. I've been testing this deck a lot. I brought it to Springfest and did pretty well with it there. For changes, it's just stuff floating around. TRV being something a lot of people want to play now. I've been thinking of running the Seizure Private Property event. It's a stock swap, but only swaps at the end of turn, so you lock them out of stock for the turn. But I could also just run another memory counter, and it's going to be bigger than your Baji if you try to do the funny burn a million times combo. But yeah, that's it.